G'day, I'm Bruce, and today I'm here to see if I can get this old Series II Land Rover running. This one's been sitting here for about 40 years, the owner says, since it's been running. They say the engines in the early model ones of these are the same as in the Series 1s, which were a 2-litre engine. And the later series in Series 2 Land Rovers had a 2.25-litre engine, which were rated at between about 71 and 80 horsepower. Just going to have a bit of a look across the dash here. Now Land Rover. You can see the gauges there, everything's pretty dirty. They've got some other seats in here. These were possibly the seats that were maybe going to go into it at one stage. There's a couple of real old computers stored away in the back there. I don't know whether that tyre would pump up again. The tyre's just about fallen to bits. It's been sitting there a long time. Just have another look at the other front tyre. Yeah, the rim on it's touching the ground. The tyre's also very flat. I suppose 40 years is a long time. You're sitting in the same place. It's another look at the dash, looking across from the other side. Can't really make much stuff out. The key's gone too. It's going to lift the bonnet. They certainly had a very heavy duty thing to hold the bonnet up. As you can see, you lift the bonnet up, this thing comes up like that and goes over centre. A bit different to this day and age where they've got struts that wear out. Just imagine how old that is, and it still holds the bonnet up with a spare wheel sitting on top of it too. We'll check the radiator. I don't think there's anything in the radiator, but no, the radiator looks pretty dry, but what would you expect for sitting there that long? I would say it's positive to earth, this one. When you see the size of the earth lead, the earth lead looks bigger than the other lead. Probably needs a bit of a clean out along the side of the cylinder head there, where the spark plugs and that are. Well, that looks pretty dirty. I see the spark plug wires are pulled off there too. I'm just looking down there for the dipstick. It's a fair way down. Oh, here we go. It's a long dipstick. Still full of oil. See if I can put that back in. Time to put the water in the radiator. I'm just getting ready to blow the dirt off around the spark plugs. I'll just give that distributor a bit of a clean out. I'm just going to take these spark plugs out. I'll loosen them a little bit and then clean around them a bit. I'm just going to pull these spark plugs out. It's got a rubber in here. You've got to be Superman to pull the rubber out. to go for a shorter extension. Still got the end on the spark plug wire end on there, so I have to pull that end off that spark plug. Finally came off. Well, I've got the jumper leads hooked up directly to the starter motor, and I'll just see if the engine will turn. I tried to turn the fan, but I couldn't, so I'll try this. It's going to be a few sparks here. Nothing. Just going to have another go at starting it, see if I can get it to turn over. No, nothing. Being a Land Rover, we found the crank handle and put it in there, but we still couldn't do any good at turning it over with the crank handle, so that's just the way things go. Just think, that's what all the old cars had. Sometimes it was hard to line that up with the front pulley on the engine. Some people used to call it a pulley dog. And you had to watch out with a lot of old things. If you're cranking them and the spark was too far advanced, they would kick back. If you had your hand like that, it might break your thumb. Well, I thought with this one, I thought I'd try and turn the engine over first, so I thought I'll just rig up the jumper lead straight onto the back of the starter. I thought that might save a bit of time. A few sparks flying around back here, but no, it wouldn't turn. Then I thought it appeared as if the water pump was seized. So I really put a lot of weight on the water pump. I couldn't get it to move on the belt at all. And eventually the water pump let go. And I thought it might be right this time. It might turn. But no, it didn't turn. I'm going to put a mixture of acetone and automatic transmission fluid in a pump-up bottle. And I've got a thing made up where I've got a little thin pipe with a mini irrigation sprinkler on the end. So I can spray all the way around. I'll put that down in the spark plug holes and see if I can spray all the inside of the cylinders and see if that can free the motor up. Just got the automatic transmission fluid here, the ATF. One of them. Acetone here. This is the first time I've ever tried this idea with the acetone, so this is going to be a pretty good test to see whether it's going to do anything or not. I guess 40 years is a long time to be sitting. I'll just set this down here for the time being. This one down here too. Just going to put it on this little pressure pipe. A good shake up. You can see there's the mini irrigation sprinkler on the end with the sides ground off it. This is a bit of fairly thick wall hose. They use that on vehicles with air locker diffs. They tend to run that stuff from the air compressor back to the diff housing. So if it's I'll see if it's going to spray. Righto, we're going to give it a demo. See how it's spraying all the way around. Spraying all the way around. Like a perfect cone. Righto then, we've got our little hose there, we're ready to go. We've got a good wriggle around in there. A bit more pressure for the next one. bend it round every which way, well, it's spraying nicely. It's a really tough hose. It's only thin, but it's thick wall. You can see here when I spray it, yeah, it's spraying all the way around. It's doing a good job. Back to the last one. A bit more pressure to make sure it's spraying good. Going through a bit. Wiggle that around as much as I can so I can try and spray a bit around everywhere. It might even loosen the valves up a bit too. I don't think it'll do any harm. But this is a recipe that the experts always talk about, or they leave a comment on my channel. That's it. All gone. You can see the fumes coming out of the plug hole. Well, spark plugs are going back in now, and as you can hear, there's lawnmowers going everywhere because we've had a fair bit of rain. Let's put them in. They won't need to be too tight because yep, it's got that done. Well, that's about all I can do. Is try and turn it over. If it can't turn over, well, obviously I realise I can't win them all. Sooner or later I'm going to find a few that are seized up along the way for whatever reason. But when they've been sitting there for that long, I mean, most engines will have rust on the bore anyway if you pull the cylinder head off of some sort. They can have a leaking head gasket too that can slowly decompose or slowly leak a bit over a period of time. After a while, after that stuff's soaked in and miraculously removed the rust off the bore, it might be free as a bird. But if you'd like me to come back, leave a comment below, and that's probably about all I can do today. So I'll probably say that's about it for this video. So until next time, thanks very much for watching.